Hey guys, it's your boy Deempo. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well. And today we are back with some more Arena Breakout Infinite content. In particular, we'll be discussing some tips and tricks that can help you throughout season 1 or even before season 1. So we are going to get you ready for that new season, which is about to drop on the 20th of November. So not much time to go. Therefore, today is as good as time as any to start prepping for that. So I'll be walking through what is the best way to make money, what is the best sort of gear for lockdown and forbidden, like sort of best value for money, sort of money value kits, however you want to phrase that. Kits that will, minimum investment and they will yield a maximum return. Before we do that though, guys, if you do enjoy the content and you haven't already subbed, please hit that sub button, as it does help my little channel immensely. We are aiming for that 10k sub. We'll be doing a huge giveaway, so we're not too far away from 10k subs now. On a side note, also, if you haven't already, please check out our Discord. We're now up to like 1,200 members. We have a lot of channels going. Great feedback so far on the channel. A lot of people are putting in a lot of work to make it, as welcoming, as good as it is. And we are the best Discord server for Arena Breakout Infinite, without a shred of a doubt. Now, without further ado, let's get stuck into it, ladies and gentlemen. So, first things first, we'll discuss how to make money. So, I'm sitting comfortable at the moment. I would have been sitting on a lot more than that. So I'll show you my stats here. But I have been testing a lot of different kits to see what works best. I haven't really been chasing rank. I only play Lockdown and Forbidden with friends. I don't really care much for it. I spend most of my time building guides and weapons that will get you prepped, right, to do the best you can. So, first things first, how do I make money? I do most of my runs on normal. So running normals is imperative to get those cogs in the machine well greased, well oiled. So this is where you're gonna make the most money. Forbidden and Lockdown are pretty much for chasing kids, because high risk, not enough return if you ask me. Yes, the loot is buffed and whatnot. However, you're gonna die most of the time. Therefore, if you're after making money, guys, go on normals. Your kit's going to be half the value. Your ammo's going to cost you half as much. Normal, it's where it's at. In particular, you want to be running normal farm. Now, before we get to the farm rotations, I'll run you through the kits that I usually run for normal. And it is as follows. So, Sentry 305, you can trade Randall for it.
You made it.
It usually costs you about 60 odd K. It is by far the best, 51k there. I'll definitely go and buy that because I'll be using it. Definitely by far the best value for money. You're sitting in the middle, you're sitting pretty, you're not too high tier, you're not too low tier. Enough to stop the rats. It's just a very, very solid rig, and you can get it very cheap. Next up, helmet. You want to run the SH40. Guys, SH40 is the best value for money. Oh, but Deepo, the SH12 has headset. It does. But you're also going to get buckshot to the face because most of the rats run shotguns these days. SH40 is where it's at. T4 armor, T4 helmet, T4 mask. 27k. Sometimes you can get cheaper. And then what you want to do essentially is link search. And you want to get the face mask. Face mask is why you run this helmet in the first place. One of the very few helmets for that price range that can get you a face shield. Okay, so this is your armor. Done and dusted. This is an armored rig and an armor, so therefore you're saving money on the rig itself. And it's got decent slots in there. Next up, whether you're running normal or lockdown, you want to go always for 5 painkillers. This is what is one painkiller? It's like 20, what is it? 240 seconds. That's 4 minutes, right? 4 times 6, 24. So 4 minutes. You have 5 of these. That's 20 minutes of perma painkilled, and it will save your life. So you want that. You want 5 of those. Next up, you want to get yourself one of these surgical kits. For painkillers, for meds, I usually run these ones because they're easy to discard. As soon as you kill someone, you grab the better meds and you just discard those and you forget about it. It is that simple. Put in your container case. Everyone gets like 1x2 container case now. All right. Next up, let's discuss the different weapon variants when it comes to normal. So, my all-time personal favorite, the way, here's the thing. Ammo will dictate what gun you run, not the other way around. It's not a, oh, I want to run this gun. If you want to efficiently make money, you need to check the ammo. There's the two best ammos on the market, in my personal opinion, are the 545, because it's very cheap for gold ammo. It only costs 705. And the second best ammo, in my personal opinion, is the AP63. So AP63, there's no dot in there, it seems. AP63. Okay, let's try 9x19. So AP6.3, sorry. I may have misplaced the dot there. 450. So this will run on the following weapons, which we'll discuss shortly. Those two are the best, followed by M855. M855 right now is very viable to run. M855A1 at 1k, it's okay. Anything above that, I would sort of say it's a bit pricey. So M855. Now let's discuss the guns that you can run for each ammo type. For the first one, it's easy. What are you for normals? All you want to do is get a submachine gun here. You want to get rid of this. You want to put one of those there. You want to get rid of that because you want to go for that one. So that's stock. Just a PK sight is fine. You can run it like that. Boom, you're done. This is the build. For those that are extra hardcore and they don't want to spend money on a red dot, so from scratch, costs about 63k. For those who are extra hardcore, if you haven't already, check out my video. This thing is a demon without the red dot, and you just want iron sights. 62 recoil, horizontal, 77 vertical, 70 ergonomics. This thing destroys, and the iron sight on is really nice. All you gotta do is just remove the back iron sight. It is better than a red dot. This gun slaps. Alternatively, if you want to go even cheaper, you can always just put a red dot there like that, and you can go loud. That's probably your best option, and you just run it like that with one of those. But this here will cost you, let's see how much this costs, 48. So entirely up to you. You can go silenced or you can go loud. This is your weapon of choice. Number one, for normal farm, this is the weapon, and I'll show you rotations afterwards. Second best weapon is the AK, where is it? 74N. The only bad thing about this is the medium firing power. I'm not a fan of it, but you can make this weapon work. All you want to do is that stock. You want to go for, where is that grip? That grip there, just for a little bit better ergonomics. You want to go loud here. Okay. And then if you're feeling extra spicy, let me just remove this magazine. If you're feeling extra spicy, you want the extra recoil control, you can go for either one of these. That will give you 2 recoil control there, but this one is much cheaper. So if we go for this one here, it'll cost you about 7,920. It's worth it. And down here, what I'd highly recommend is you either go for this one, which will cost you, let's see, 8k. Alternatively, if you got a bit more money, you can go for this one. That's best in slot, will cost you 10k. So which is still decent. It's not too bad. With a nice little PK side there. And this is your gun. This with gold ammo will absolutely destroy anyone. The whole build will cost you, you can compete with this all the way up to lockdown, even though we're discussing normals now. All the way up to like 60k, so it's even better than the MP5. Shoots better ammo, albeit the ammo is more expensive. I would not recommend you run PP on this gun though. Yes, you can kill players with it, but I do not recommend it, not even one bit. BP or nothing with that weapon. If you're gonna run purple ammo, either run the M16 or the MP5. Next up, we are going to be discussing the next weapon, which is the M16. This thing is an absolute beast. You can go fancy, or you may not go fancy. So what I recommend here is you go for this one, polymer AR grip. Nice ergonomics boost there. Here, you may want to go for that. And over here, you definitely want to go for that. You want to go loud with this gun. You don't want to put a silencer on it. None of that mumbo jumbo. We're going to go loud. And you want a PK sight, because this handle, it already takes up too much of your screen. You want to have a PK sight there. So the whole build will cost you what is that, 45k. Okay, I'm gonna jump in the firing range shortly, and I'll show you all the weapons. All of them are demons. It's the ammo that counts at the end of the day. You want to go as cheap as possible on the weapon, and you want to run the most optimal ammo at a very good price point, of course. So I'll showcase all three. I'll go with the MP5 first. The build that I recommend is silent. It's cheap. You want to go here. You want to go for this one. That one. Don't worry about a red dot there. We don't need it. You want that, and you want that. That's your build. And I've destroyed like T6s with this. It's a demon. Look at this. Alright. That's the MP5. I'll show you the M16. Ergo. Oops. You can run a scope though, I wouldn't recommend it. Red dot. Loud. Boom. Switch to it. We want to go here is we want to go semi-automatic. This thing, it will fire as fast as you can tap the button. As you can see, it's very accurate, not much recoil, and it's just very good overall weapon. And last but not least, so MP5, very good close range. Medium to long range, you want the M16, but anything in between, you want to go for the AK-74N. 60k build is absolutely perfect. It's a great weapon, competitive weapon. It's just a good all-around weapon as long as you run the ammo that I'm suggesting here. Otherwise, there's really no point to it. So, perfect the way it is there. Just a PK or a red dot sight, whatever it is you want to run there. Great weapon. Really good. Let's drop down. Pick up that. And this is your AK. Very good, very competitive, very cheap. Great recoil control. Alright, so that concludes our first part of the video. Now, just an honorable mention here, guys. If you are like down bad, I'm talking in the dumpster, no colon to your name, there is an alternative kit you can run. However, the risk is going to be much higher, but so will the reward, I suppose, if you do make it out. So, for armor and helmet first, you want to run the SH12. In terms of armor,
I've heard you've got
you want to be running the diaper, what is it called, the 6B5. You can buy this for 20k or you can trade this guy for 17k. Entirely up to you. Obviously, you're a lot more vulnerable to rats and whatnot. But if you can't afford tier 4, and I don't understand how anyone cannot afford tier 4, this is the way to go. As far as weapons go, then it's just a completely different can of worms. What I recommend is you go for shotguns here. You run that with AP slugs. Alternatively, you run the SK with type 7 or type 8. They also destroy. Or ultimately, you can always run the, where is it? The Mosin, the bolt action, the Mosin. This is going to get nerfed next season though. But this is still a very viable option, albeit I don't like it because it's one-dimensional. It is a one-trick pony. If you don't hit your shots, you're pretty much toast. Close up, you're also toast. So, do your own risk. But this is the kit I would say if you're really down bad, that's the kit you should revert to. Alright guys, and now that we discussed loadouts, or should I say the most optimal loadouts for money making or normal, we need to discuss the 3 keys that you need. These are the only keys you need. Barn office, a must. Main bedroom, also a must. And 201, right? This covers all of your spawn points. So if I go here to maps, farm, you will either, that's a guaranteed spawn and that's a guaranteed spawn. So if you're here, you want to use the main bedroom in the villa and then you want to migrate all the way towards greenhouse, motel. If you spawn a grain trade center, you'll obviously hit trade center first. Then you go motel and then you want to take paid extract. At all times, you want to be taking the paid extract. It unlocks after 10 minutes. 10 minutes is more than sufficient enough to hit both locations. I'll show you a video on how I run it. It should be more than enough time for you to hit the Grain Trade Center, Motel, Paid Extract, or hit the Villa, hit Green, hit Motel, then Paid Extract. It is all doable in 10 minutes. If it's not, then you need to work on your looting skills. 2 hotspots is what you want to hit. Anything beyond that point, you're risking running into other players, you're risking running into other scavs. Grain Trade, you'll fight for sure. Motel, you may or may not fight, depending what this spawn does. Villa, very likely you won't fight anyone until you hit Motel. Green should be yours, Villa should be yours, unless you get a spawn at loading area. Then you may or may not choose to fight. So this is the chilled spawn. Less risk, but less reward. Grain Trade is where you want to spawn. Preferably you want to spawn at graveyard so you can go and push and hold grade. If you spawn here, then you're in for a fight. So those are the rotations. Stables, minimal loot. I would not go to stables. I would not do any missions. Just 10-minute rule, guys. 10 minutes, you should be done looting, and then you should go to extract. So within 12, 13 minutes, you should be out of there. Fighting scav players, you're only wasting ammo, wasting time. You want to optimize your runs. The less amount of runs you do, the less you get back, right? But the more you roll the dice, the more you open the safes, the higher chance of hitting a red item. And that's why I'm saying normal is better than lockdown, because lockdown you play very cagey, you watch your rank, you hunt for the kids. You hunt for kids and you hunt for rank. You don't go there for the money. Whereas if you play normals, that's what you're there for. You're there to hit the hot zones and get out. Now that we've covered normal, it is time to cover lockdown. So lockdown, not much changes. If you want to go for that maximum return, at this point in time, tier 4 is more than sufficient enough. I would run the same kit. If you want ease, however, what I recommend is you run a different helmet. So as far as helmets go, the int helmets are not bad. However, the face mask is only tier 3. But in the grand scheme of things, most of the people run tier 4 ammo and above anyway, so you should be fine. But you do have to buy the helmet, which is like a tier 4 helmet. So what you essentially want to be running is tier 4, any of the int or KSS tactical or the int helmet. Run something that has high ricochet. That's what I would go for. That has low ricochet. I wouldn't recommend that one. Medium ricochet there. That's got high ricochet chance. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. And then you can run a headset as well. Some of these will support a face mask. Some of these won't support a face mask. This probably will. The others won't. So entirely up to you. I don't need ease. I rely on my teammates mostly, so I do run the SH40. But even when they get close enough to me, I can hear them anyway. So you'll lose that hearing from like far away, but up close, you'll be able to hear fine with this. Now, in terms of the weapons, in my mind, value for money, there's only 2 weapons you can run for lockdown. That's really good. One's the M110, the other one's the RPK. So both shoot very, very, very good ammo. And there is a third honorable mention. Guys, once again, you're building up from the ammo, not the other way around. You don't start with the guns, you start with the ammo. So BP ammo at the moment, 545 is like 700 or whatnot, 720. I've seen it goes down as low as 550, 600. Now, the RPK itself is not the cheapest weapon. I hope you're used to the battlefield, but you're no longer in lockdown, so... Come to me. The way I would approach this is, you want to go light machine gun. How's the... Well, the first things first is, if you have a trade available...
There's no such thing.
You purchase it from if you've got something here. Costs about 110 usually, 127 that time. You sell the stock for like 30k, and the magazine you get 40 back.
Need any equipment?
Alternatively, though, what I do most of the time, I don't really bother going for the trade.
I hope you're used to the battlefield here,
20 odd million. What I recommend you do is you go light machine guns, get rid of this stock, automatically go for the Colt lightweight there. This is fine, no need to change that. Take that out. Here, you want to take that mag out, you want to go for 60 mag. Everything else is fine. Vertical grip. This is solid. Now, you need to make a choice here, whether or not you want to run scoped or you want to run normal. I recommend the 1x4. It's probably the cheapest out of all the other scopes that I would recommend. Whole build 164, which is not bad. 75 for the scope. Alternatively, my favorite scope is the Voodoo, or the 1x6 as it's called in this game. This might be a little bit dearer. Not even. Costs about the same. So pick your poison. This weapon is insanely powerful. No need to silence it. Let them know you're coming. It'll be too late for them anyway. Great weapon. Very good value for money. If by some chance you do not like the range on it, although I believe the range stock is freaking insane at 170, you can go for this barrel here and you will get like some extra. So what, 73.58 versus 75.61. So you get a lot more recoil, but the barrel does stick out a lot much more. You also take penalty to your ergonomics as well. So I wouldn't recommend it, but it's up to you. Long barrel is probably better in some instances, worse in others. This is the build you want, and it costs not much. Once you put a scope on it, this is an all-around very good gun.
Getting into trouble.
Very cheap ammo. You lose it, who cares? You lose the ammo, who the hell cares? Next up brings us to what I think is the best weapon in the game. After the FAL gets nerfed, it's the M110. Very cheap to build, cheap to run, very good ammo. Once again, we're here because the ammo doesn't take much to kit out. This, I would suggest you run suppressed. For the grip here, you can go for either one. It doesn't really matter. This is semi-automatic. The recoil doesn't make that much of a difference. Go like that. Now, the gun itself will cost you, what, 109k, as is. You put a spectroscope on it, and 193. So spectroscope has gone up a little bit. Or you can run the 1x6, or you can even run like the 2x7. 2x7 is a very clean scope as well. Now you can't push buildings with this, but everything else in the open, on farm, or even valley, you'll absolutely destroy. So very good. Oh, but the Impo, it's not exactly the cheapest weapon. Guys, trust me, this shoots the best ammo in the game. So what you can do is you can run M80s, which is like 1k a pop usually. There you go. Alternatively, you can top load M62s, and these rounds will go through pretty much anything on T6 armor. Great weapon, very balanced, very good recoil. Ergonomics are not the worst. That is my second choice. Last but not least is another sort of budget-ish build. And once again, we're starting from the ammo. And the best ammo in the game is the 7.62 by 4.5. And you can either run a T5 there, which is 1.7, like half the price of an M62. So how does this compare to an M62? It's got 54 pen, 79 base damage. M62 has 71 with 53. So this is even a better round and cheaper round. For the weapon, you can get the cheapest scope in the game. I'll show you shortly. So you want to go to marksman rifles. We're going to go for SVDS there. We are going to remove that. We are going to go for this one here because it gives you the best ergonomics. We'll leave that as it is. Going to go for the ergo stock there, just to get a little bit more and keep the price at bay. Just remove the magazine so we can see how much this costs. As far as the things go, I mean, you can go with that handle. There's nothing wrong with it. But this one's here is cheaper, get better ergonomics. And this is where it gets interesting, right? Here, what you want to run is an incline and a red dot. And over here, what you want to run is a 4x PSO scope. And that is all you need on this gun. So you're covered at range, you're covered up close, and shoots the best rounds in the game. If you complete the assembly, it will cost 137k. So about 60k cheaper than M110, about 30k cheaper than the RPK. But you will save yourself a ton of money on the ammo. Run T5 ammo at a minimum. And trust me, you'll be doing very, very well with this gun. It is an absolute beast. So that covers you for lockdown. That's how you get the most value out of your money. Yes, you can always upscale, go T5, T6 at your own risk, but there's no need. There's a lot of rats on lockdown, a lot of Mosin rats, so don't give them the satisfaction of taking a T6 kit. And besides, like, this is much cheaper to run. You die, oh well, rinse and repeat. You just reset, and doesn't break the bank. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to our last segment, which is Forbidden. For Forbidden, you got no choice. You have to run good gear. You can try and be a rat, but you'll get absolutely melted. So what I recommend for Forbidden is you either run T5 or T6 armor. For T6 armor, BT 101 is probably the best way to go because it's light. It doesn't weigh you down as much as the what's it called? The samurai ones do. So if I look at here quickly, I mean, yes, it's dearer, but if you don't want to spend money, don't go to Forbidden. So whether you do Armory or whatever, T6 Rush Tactics is the way to go. Or if you're doing farm, then you can take your time. But then you'll be encountering thermals, so it's entirely up to you. So this one here, you get penalty on movement speed, -18, ergonomics -10. That's huge. This one, you don't get any of that. This is -10 and -6, so it's still huge. -12, -7, still huge. This is T6 as well, -7, -3. So this is by far the best option. I'll leave it up to you, to your better judgment. Alternatively, you can run T5 armor. This chest rig here is very good value for money. This chest rig is very good. Armored rig is very good value for money. It's entirely up to you, or you can just run the simple ones. Something much cheaper, yet decent. -11, -5 is not great. That's why I recommend you run something like this. This is probably the better option out of the two. Now, let's discuss weapons. If you're not running SMBs or you're not running M61s, then you're at a massive disadvantage in Forbidden. Because M61 is the best ammo in the game. If you can't afford it, or even M62, just don't run Forbidden. You can try and rat, but more often than not, you will lose to thermals or you'll lose to real geared guys. Sorry, one more thing. Helmets. Entirely up to you whether you want to run ears or no ears. If you're going to run Armory, I'll go for the Blast helmet. It's probably the best value for money here. But it does stuff up your hearing a little bit. It already comes with a mask, so you don't have to spend another whatever on the mask. Wrist T helmet is good. SH65 is even better. But let me see how much the mask for that is. So another 106k. So they all end up being in the same price range. I've seen the Blast helmet as low as 250, so that's why a lot of people usually run it, but it does impact your hearing. Otherwise, if you don't want to run that, what you can always do is, in terms of helmets, you can run this one and get it like a second hand. One of my friends really like this one here, and you can put the visor on it. So, what is it called? Face shield. It's got high ricochet chance, so okay. Power? Nope. Mask is this one here, the DK7 Premium. So face, glass, high ricochet chance, super good, and you still get a headset. Alternatively, if you're obviously bowling, then you can go for the best helmet in the game, which is a motorcycle helmet, but that's entirely up to you. Now, back to the weapons. In my eyes, there's only 3 weapons you can run for this. SVDS being the shittest out of the 3. Second best, the M110, and the absolute best is the FAL. So if I go to the FAL here, this will get a little bit nerfed next season, but you can still snipe with it. The build that I would run is not a short barrel build unless you're doing Armory. So if you're doing Armory, the build that I would run is short barrel one. So I'll go for the short barrel, like that. There's no point putting a silencer on it. You want to go as loud as possible. That being the best option. Here, I would run a... Oops. It's the wrong one. Here, you want to go for either slanted, like tilted, or that one. It's entirely up to you. I mean, this weapon is an absolute beast. And you can get it down nice and quick. And you can go for this stock here. It's entirely up to you. You can just run it like this. It's fine enough for Armory. If you're not running Armory, then you need to get the recoil under control. You want to go for a longer barrel. For the file L, once again, same thing. Or you can silence it. If you can do a lot of sniping, you can go silenced. But this will cost you a pretty penny. Not many people can afford to run this weapon. It's entirely up to you. But this is fine. This is just fine the way it is. The M61 is really what you want this gun for. Alternatively, you can run the M110. Probably the much cheaper option. But M61 is what it all boils down to. And this is 1 tap to the head, 2 tap to the chest. Even with all the new guns implemented in Season 1, unless they nerfed the M61, everyone was running it. That and the SJ16 are forever going to be meta. And that's the other weapon, which will probably cost you cheaper than the fail to run, and that is the SJ16. So bolt actions, this is a one tap. It's going to get a little bit nerfed in terms of distance, but if you clip anyone up close, it is GG's. You can run with the 7 times, you can run normal. You don't even need to go silence for this, though. The silencer on this is insane. It is insane how powerful it is. Anyways, that is that. You want to run the red ammo, of course. That covers you for normal, that covers you for a lockdown, and that covers you for armory. Guys, it's fairly simple. Get your kits down pat. Always go by the ammo, whatever's the cheapest ammo, and then just build from there. Those are the best tips I can give you. It served me well. I'm sitting on 126 million, which is more than the majority of the people in this game. I can run any kit comfortably. There's a lot of great guns. There's a lot of new good guns to come, but these ones are always going to be the cheapest and most efficient to run. Everything else is pretty much a luxury. As always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate your time, and I hope to catch you next video. Peace.